The world is always turning. There's gravity, the different cycles like day and night, the seasons. We're always in motion, even when we're sitting still. There's a real flow to what's going on. When not permanently stopped, every second of our lives is in motion on some level, forward. It colors everything. How could it not? I'm not sure if there's any scientific research into this casual truth of the reality we're living in day to day. On the same subject and separately, the problem with research involving one's own perceptions is the difficulty in providing physical evidence. I can, possibly, provide you with a little. It's not a trick of any kind, as a forewarning. You'll need to collect it yourself, but it might be possible where you live. The real evidence will be provided when you perceive the same thing, basically. I can't say absolutely that you'll be provided with the evidence, but I do feel fairly confident. If you do it right enough, or work at the method a bit, if need be, you really will be. Some reasons why this might not work are being closed-minded to the possibility, perception bias, being bad-intentioned in general towards wildlife, wanting to use wildlife to be bad-intentioned towards others, they won't help, or some other obscure variable which is always possible but unlikely. What this will be, if you dare, is evidence of animals being able to read your mind. Telepathic communication in relation to nature, essentially. This is what to do. Go outside, somewhere generally quiet, preferably in the day, in some location that has birds around, which is most anywhere on the planet, but ideally in a natural environment. Sit down, sit still, don't make any physical noise if you can help it. Pay attention to your thoughts. Whatever they are, it doesn't matter, whatever comes up. Now, while still aware enough of your thoughts from a somewhat outside perspective, listen for bird sounds in nature, preferably far off, to be more scientific, from where it seems likely the birds can't see or hear you, to be responding to any body movements, possibly small sounds, etc. Keep aware of your thoughts and the bird sounds in the distance at the same time, best you can. Chances are, if you do all this, you'll notice, without being able to deny it, the birds responding to your thoughts in real time. If you continue to do this exercise, you'll continue to notice it more and more, most likely. It takes a kind of effort, so you might have to work towards the ability to have a somewhat outside perspective of your own thoughts, and listening for bird sounds in the distance at the same time. It might help by looking towards the bird sound's location to get an idea if they're watching you and a bearing of how far off the birds probably are. After a while, if it works, eventually you won't have to try anymore. You'll just notice, especially when a bird's trying to get your attention for some reason, usually when they're stressed out. All wildlife, including insects, wasps, rabbits, deer, all creatures have this same ability. If it sounds like you might put yourself in danger by noticing, please remember that life on this planet kind of means we're always in danger. If you're good-natured and kind towards wildlife, they will, and do, appreciate it. Keep that going and you will have all of nature looking out for you also, a little bit more, increasing with you if you decide at the same pace. It's something earned through developing trust that's incremental. Defend yourself as usual if need be. Don't get excessive with self-defense towards wildlife. We're always surrounded, remember, so there's really no point. If they really wanted to gang up on you and kill you, they probably would have already. Things could get surreal, so natural caution is in order. If you do your best, within reason, to not kill other creatures, with the ultimate goal of being able to live comfortably and in harmony, relating and interaction with nature gets easier. Wildlife really does understand us, dare I say, absolutely and completely. It seems to me that wild animals, at least, were at one time human themselves and still remember. It's us that assumes they don't. All the stars and planets above us aren't aliens watching us, but some of them are. They're spacecraft anyway, camouflaged into the rest of the night sky. How you'll be able to tell is seeing one move around with an unnatural fluidity while not creating any sound. These star-planet looking spacecraft, one would naturally assume they're far off based on what they resemble. They're not. When they're here, they're within the atmosphere. They resemble planets more than stars, with a less blue, more yellow hue. The light they give off is always directed at the viewer, regardless the distance and angle.